Hello, everyone. My guest today is Chris Hale. He's the founder and CEO of Kountable, a San Francisco-based technology company actively solving the world's distribution problem by building a trust network for global trade that integrates, digitizes, and optimizes collaboration between qualified big and small players. Its cloud-based global trade platform delivers transparency, governance, and efficiency in trade. Chris, you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, thank you. That was a great introduction.
What kind of trade?
So we're focused on international trade, primarily in sectors of healthcare, technology, and industrial equipment.
Give me an example of an industrial equipment. It's like an X-ray machine going from China to the U.S.?
Yeah, it could be. We typically do a little bit smaller than those sizes. That's usually a multi-million-dollar machine, but we do things with filters, switches, pumps, solar panels, all across the board. Our primary first markets were in East Africa, and we're now expanding into the U.S. Tell
me about that. Why the beachhead in East Africa?
Yeah, it's a good question. We really learned the business there. So my co-founder had relationships with some of the top entrepreneurs in Rwanda, and we worked with them and came to understand that these entrepreneurs played a critical role in sort of super important supply chains in healthcare and industrial, and started to explore where else this was the case, and found it was a global opportunity, and there was no platform for these, critical players to digitize their businesses and plug into global trade.
Mm-hmm. And what year was this? When did you launch?
2015.
2015, got it. And walk me through sort of how you got your first customers.
Yeah, so Catherine Nomura, who's my co-founder, had been working with an entrepreneurial coaching organization that has a global presence. And they had exported their curriculum to Rwanda to see how well it worked in that kind of market. And so she already had great relationships with some of the country's top entrepreneurs. And she said, Chris, why don't you get on an airplane, fly over to Rwanda and pitch them and see what happens? And that weekend, we got $10 million in demand. So we were kind of rushing to meet it with the platform from there.
I don't understand. How did the coaching program attract founders that participated in the global supply chain of pumps and water filters?
So first of all, the entrepreneurs were recruited by the ecosystem in Rwanda. So governments, ministries, other, entrepreneurial coaching groups all fed this program.
Okay.
And, a lot of those entrepreneurs run, businesses in infrastructure and ICT consultancy. They're former nurses and doctors that started healthcare distribution platforms. And that's who we ended up hooking up with, those entrepreneurs, and they're, we might call them small business owners here in the US instead of sort of the coveted entrepreneur Silicon Valley type that's building a tech platform. But they're running, these businesses that are the lifeblood of an economy, making things work, building infrastructure, building schools, computer labs, all of it.
And how do you make money today? Is it a SaaS product or is it a percentage of GMV in a marketplace or something?
Yeah, it's actually a bit of both. So more like Shopify, where we have a platform that can be used independently. And we have subscribers to that platform, both small business and enterprise subscribers. And then we also make money on GMV by moving product through the platform and optimizing the trade transaction.
In 2020, of total revenue, what percent was GMV based versus flat fee SaaS based?
Yeah, so 2020 was an interesting year for us, but the majority of it was GMV based. So
majority
kind of an 80-20.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, 80% GMV based. And so is there any margin left on shipping physical goods internationally for you to take a small slice out of?
Unfortunately, Nathan, it's a massive margin. It's good news from a business, but bad news in terms of how, these markets have to pay so much to get access to top quality goods.
Uh-huh.
So the goal for the platform is really to optimize that spread. We typically see spreads like in the healthcare sector, for example, buying critical equipment like malaria kits or COVID tests of 40% plus because of all the friction.
Wait, can we walk through a malaria kit real quick? So what does it cost to break down all the margins?
Sure. Yeah. So you might acquire a malaria kit for say $4.50 in South Korea, where they're manufactured. It's a subsidiary of Abbott. And the cost to move the kit per unit might be $1.50.
Okay.
And they might sell in market for $8.50.
Okay. And where do you take your cut?
So it's, we're taking the cut from both the goods themselves and the services to move them from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
And so the goal is really to create price transparency, to optimize the market.
But
yeah,
what do you
if you have a
measure
40
though? Are you measuring the 450? Like when you look at total GMV through your platform last year, do you calculate it based on 450 the cost in South Korea to manufacture, or the 850 sale and market price?
Yeah, actually somewhere in the middle, which is called landed costs, right? So it'd be the 450 plus the 150, which would be like $6.
Got it. Okay, so how much of that did you do last year?
How much volume did we do?
Yeah, like if you do landed costs, total through the platform in 2020, how much was it?
Yeah, so we typically take about 15% of the value.
Mm-hmm.
The landed cost in 2020 was lower than 2019. It was only about 7 million.
Okay, got it. Oh, interesting. So why did it go down? I mean, there should have been a lot of PPE going all over the place last year.
We don't touch PPE right now.
Why not?
PPE
That feels like a very obvious thing that you should be touching.
Yeah, PPE is a tough market, Nathan. A lot of people are ending up in jail and having their businesses shut down.
Why?
Quality.
But I mean, can't you source? I mean, are you responsible for sourcing a malaria kit from South Korea for 450?
Yes.
So can't you just source better? Make sure you're sourcing the right PPE equipment.
Yeah, the real truth is like quality PPE from organizations like 3M aren't going to resale markets.
I see. Okay, I understand. Got it. Okay, so in 2020, you did 7 million through the platform. You're adding a landed cost of everything going through. You're taking, call it 15%. So it's like basically $1 million revenue line currently.
Yep.
Interesting. Talk to me about this.
2018, we did more like 26 million.
Wow.
Yeah, and we had some changes in the business that not only COVID, but some changes in the platform where we were focused on building out the membership model.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we're looking to scale up here in 2021 with those 3 new revenue streams turned on, or two new and one as trading volume.
Okay, wait. So break this down for me. You've got the GMV model, which we understand clearly. Let's talk about the SaaS model for a second. What do folks pay on average per month to use the SaaS model?
So it's kind of an enterprise program. So, we see anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000.
Okay. A month?
Yep.
And how many customers do you have on that?
So we're a little bit private about that kind of data. You're sort of reverse engineering the math here. We're not public about our customer data.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's on purpose. So you just articulated that the GMV business did 7 million. You take 15%, that's $1 million. You also said earlier that that's about 80% of your total business. So it sounds like there's 20% of the business is about 200 grand on the SaaS side. If we divide in, by a $24,000 ACV, we can sort of back into customer count. But why don't you just tell me the customer count instead of making me do all the math?
Sorry, I think this probably isn't the right interview for me.
Okay, got it. Did you listen to any of the other three? Did you listen to any of the 3,000 other episodes we've published before agreeing to come on?
Sorry, our PR firm just put this on and I didn't know. I apologize, Nathan.
Yeah, it's no problem.
I didn't know I was going to have to spill the beans on our financial data.
You don't have to spill them, but I'm just going off what you've already shared. Like you already, I'm just quote, like you just said that was $1 million line and you already shared. I
didn't love that line of questioning either. So I'm just kind of backing away from the whole thing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, great. Well, then let's end the interview.
All right. Thanks,
Take
Nathan.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers. They try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.